And to wrap this all up here in the next few moments, Mr. Mount, I'm talking, if I recall, Mr. Patuchik was bringing the argument about full circle where we had done something, the city had done something one way for so long for our employees so that their anniversary dates and stuff like that for their employee would match with their hire date and maybe their birthday, because things go up when you cross like certain age barriers. Your insurance goes up or adjusts based upon how old you are, because it's going to cost more to keep you alive, crap, ton of crap. Well, anyway, the question was brought, or he said something about it happens when our employees are not whole. Well, how do you get a half an employee? Or seven? Oh, I'm going to bite my tongue on that one. But anyway, Mr. Mount brings up a wonderful point. As he said, it's the 80-20 rule. Outstanding observation. It's where 20% of your people cause you 80% of your problems. Or 20% of your people do 80% of your work. I like 90-10. 90% of your people, 10% of your people cause 90% of your part of your headache. He said something about a holistic approach. Outstanding. Love the word holistic. And he asked the chief of police, are we having a difficult time recruiting? And the chief of police, yes, we are having trouble recruiting. Excellent answer from 1 Adam 12. Mr. Mount inquired, should we pay them more? And my initial thing, I about went off the reservation because he's a pretty conservative guy, I thought, in my eyes. And I was like, no, say it ain't so, Joe. Equity, schmequity. Think about the taxpayers' equity in this whole process. Then the mayor, can we do it? And Mr. Patuchik, we can do everything. Way below 5% of others. So I don't know why I put that in there. I can't remember why. Mr. Mayor did say that there's a better way of doing things. Please show us how. And Mr. Patuchik was pretty witty. I like the way he more or less says we can keep it the way it is and stick it to him, or we can change for the will of one person. The guile. I guess there's a handful of people that are affected by this, a very small percentage, like probably close to 1% of the entire employees within the city. Let's see here. Mr. Mayor said something about future compression. They're talking about folks getting stacked up in the different areas. It's not the city council's fault. It's the people that are working there's fault. They should have either got promoted or changed jobs if they're going to cry about being stuck in a position long enough. Mr. Patuchik said this is why we did this to begin with. To get rid of compression because we had a broken bat. Mayor said we can let them have it their way. This is Burger King. Dispense with this BS. This is BK. Dispense with this BS. We take a break from the action. That is actually the first time I hit the this is when I hit the pause button the very first time when I was doing this stuff. And it's sort of like we have to read this and stuff, put it next to it, see if it's like the Wizard of Oz in the Wall album. Let us rejoin the cast of Folly of Government Service, shall we? We've learned so much already, especially about the way the winds actually blow. So we got half an hour left here. Mr. Mountain says, can we execute this? Staff, of course, we can execute anyone. I mean, anything. Mayor brings up, you hear the mayor crying, bring out your dead, dispose of the landlines. Miss Calhoun, it's a burden on employees. Mr. Patuchik, it changes all of my methodology. And before that, ask them what else they want if they're going to change the way that I do business. Personnel costs by fund. Pay the police. The airport. Somebody retired from the airport. I didn't even know the airport was open that long. They have some capital projects about energy management, ways to explore, ways to reduce energy use. Yeah, put some solar panels on your roofs of those huge buildings you got. How's that? She said, Miss Yarborough, during her presentation, said this all intertwines with the strategic plan, and she'll show you how it is next month. That's how it works out next month. And I really paused for a moment. I was like, wow, that just happened. Yeah, you agree on this, and I'll show you how it works next month. What? Okay. The King's Court, Airport, and Mountain Retreat. They will find something to do nearly over the horizon. Anyway, they're talking about selling the King's Court, buying that other that stuff. They're doing work at the airport, which is actually over the horizon for most people in the town. And Mr. Mount replies they want to sell out the King, partner with the school, King's Court, partner with the schools, and promote tennis. That's the objective. So they're going to, in true government fashion, they're going to sell an already established, though dilapidated, tennis court that is widely known and has operated for many years, though it's recently fallen into disrepair and gone out of business. Sell it in order to buy something else. Government wisdom at its finest, folks. But they want to partner with the schools and get some of their fields at a better running capacity so they can combine efforts, which is great. Anytime you can cut duplication of effort, it's actually good. Usually, we'll see how it works out, what the end result and the game plan really is. Since the partnership details are coming up in July. Yep, it happened again. What do you think about that, Mr. Harvey? Is there? That's right. Somewhere there is the rest of the story. They mentioned low-hanging fruit. We've taken care of that. And I was like, excellent. Redemption points. Good for you. Mr. Mount was concerned about the Black Box Theater that was pitched in, I believe, January or February. It was a capital project. Wasn't even on the list. She was explaining the city reviews it every year and that the Black Box Theater didn't make the cut. The government... The government is, after all, where really good ideas go to die. So, in recent, other than the chicken or the egg, folks, everybody else that's spoken up from the commissions within the last year, they've gotten nothing. And Mr. Mount made a point of that. The city, and I didn't know who it was, but it came out, it was more or less, how do I dodge this? Got to move it on up. We start budget in February. It's really difficult to rank. Miss Calhoun said, yeah, this is wrong. You've done it more than once. It was almost like she had a we've been duped moment. There's room for improvement, more or less, stated. Mr. Petuchek rebuts and says, oh, do not fear. This is a first-time change. We abolished its originator. So, which I believe was citizens used to do this stuff, but the city blew the landing. It was something they had, but they didn't get done exactly right. Room for improvement, he knows. Who knew our citizens can do it better? 10 years, you mentioned. Plan it out. Capital improvement plans. Absent ADA accountability. They're building stuff when they have stuff that the ADA requires them to repair. Remember that, folks. That's going on. He more or less says, I know what ideas are worthy. The code can't be maintained now, he states. We've pushed it out as far as we can. Play ball. Community center needs replaced. It has no historical values. Budgets do indeed have to be followed. Blah, 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 blah. Miss Calhoun chimes in and says, we need to be involved. This doesn't match the strategic plan, ? Chuck, Mr. Petuchek replies, excellent points. The commission say this, and the staff says this. And he even mentioned sewers, which actually flared my nostrils. Miss Calhoun chimes in with a new idea, and Miss Yarborough, just more or less, these are more dreams that we can't fund, as she quickly went through the slides of things that didn't make the cuts. Miss Calhoun said, so stuff got cut out? So other stuff got cut out? And Mr. Mount replied, will it work? Mr. Patucci says, we can do it. Ms. Calhoun said, are you sure? Mr. Patucci, fire, police need more people. Overfill is a possibility over there with turnover. If the economy improves, it'll be great. But if it doesn't, what will it be? Guess he doesn't believe that Donald can pull it off. I'm telling you, this Korea thing is going to be wonderful for peace and tranquility in the world. But I think it's going to hurt the economy down here even more than it's suffering right now. Folks continued. More stuff. HERF is up. Yay, yay, yay. HERF is the fund we get tax redistribution from the state for fuel usage. One thing that's missing, the minimum wage increase. We keep giving these part-time folks raises, and they'll be paid more than our full-time folks, and we'll have to give the full-time folks raises. So this is a double-edged sword that very few people saw coming. What? It's obvious as the nose on your face. Mayor chimes in, but perhaps maybe we need to sell bonds and go into debt. And perhaps he does know that a casino is coming around on the horizon the more we handle the buildings and finances of the different casinos as they donate to the area. Ms. Yarbrough wrapped it up, more or less. This you have a month and a half. These dates are published. This is when we have meetings. And Ms. Calhoun said, can we raise property taxes? My head about popped off, but it is what it is. It was just a question. And the mayor went into how he felt about taxes in general. It's about needs. And he wanted to know why would we require an increase in taxes for once? Excellent move. Great points on the mayor. Proper public purpose is what he stated. Quotation of words. No problems with taxes, but the juice has to be worth the squeeze, more or less. Was he on the council when the cove was approved? Because that chicken's coming home to roost. Or that bird's coming home to roost right now. Ms. Calhoun chimes in. Let's talk about multi-use paths. Something something more permanent. Any needs out there or nice to haves out there? Looking around, nobody chimed in. She consults with Mr. Patucci for what's reasonable. Look out now. Mr. Patucci states this. Council says no, not much meat on the bone as far as property taxes increasing. The juice wouldn't be worth the squeeze. However, a secondary property tax could do the trick. It takes a lot of time to draft such requests for the taxpayer to reject at the ballot box, though. But options are out there. You just saw a flea flicker and didn't even know it. Mayor, time, I have somewhere to be. Craig, still tomorrow? What is the plan? Miss Yarbrough, recycling plan. Craig, going to have time for questions at the department level? Mumble, mumble, mumble. Mr. Mayor chimes in. Excellent job, Miss Assistant City Manager. I agree, ma'am. Outstanding job this afternoon. That's a wrap. All right, as we sit here for our closing analysis for decarlodanger.com, I'm here with my friends, Paul Harvey. Yeah, not really. It's a big joke. But anyway, there you have it, folks. From the worldwide leader in providing levity and parody to Sierra Vista politics. I would like to thank the city staff, mayor, council, Paul, Hunter, Mr. Grizzard, Lewis, and Michael for the candor, insight, and comedic value this budget season. Perhaps we can do it again tomorrow afternoon. Maybe I can work out some of these kinks and make it work a little bit better. Take care. Have a wonderful evening, wonderful afternoon. This is decarlodanger signing off at 11:35 on 11th of June, Monday, 2018, from the worldwide headquarters of decarlodanger.com. Sunny and tyrannical, Sierra Vista, Arizona. Have a great evening, folks. Good night.